And Bottas just starts turning in, and yeah, at that point it was, I think, a racing incident. Nothing either of them
No,
could have
no, no,
done.
no, 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 no. It wasn't a racing incident. It was a Bottas incident.
Bottas incident.
Hello and welcome back to F1 Fan Fiction. I keep saying back because you guys are just amazing. You've been following us this season, race after race, fireside after fireside. Thank you for your constant support. All of you guys that are new, and this is the first time that you're listening to this episode, we are F1 Fan Fiction, a podcast about F1 races, about F1 drivers, interviews, everything related to F1, and in general, just motorsport, brought to you by just your everyday F1 fans, for you, the F1 fans. We are your hosts. I am Akash.
And I'm Sarang.
And before we get into the episode, just a few messages from our side. Thank you for following us race after race, as I've said. And anyone who's just been following us since the start, or even if this is the first time you're listening to us, drop us a review. Go on to the streaming platform that you're listening this on. If you like the show, leave us a 5-star. If you didn't like us, leave us 1 star. Be honest. Be honest. We want to improve this show for you. We want to keep bringing better episodes, race after race, for you. So be candid, be honest. Tell us what you got. Head over to F1 Fan Fiction. Buy us a coffee there. These things take time, money, and energy from our side, and we're going to keep bringing these splendid episodes race after race for you. We're going to keep bringing new guests for you. So head over to F1 Fan Fiction, listen to other episodes, buy us a coffee there. And if you want to keep getting notifications from us, follow us everywhere on our socials. With that said, let's get into the episode. Sarang, new records being set. First time a Mexican driver winning at Mexican Grand Prix.
It was a grand Mexican fiesta, wasn't it? Like,
it was
really,
wholesome.
What
wholesome.
We saw today, I think overall everything, like the crowd, the awesome graffiti that they had done on the track, the whole atmosphere, Perez, a Mexican driver, being on the podium, his dad having a time of his life. Everything was just picture perfect.
I think his dad was probably, this is the second time he's been as happy as he can. The first day was probably when Perez was born, and then today when Perez is on the podium in front of Mexico. You're right, man. Like, that graffiti was so right out of like a Pixar movie. Too colorful. Everything was just too wholesome. Yeah, just a splendid Sunday for Mexico as a whole.
Yeah. And I think this was probably the second highest attendance as well after USGP. And, pretty much the entirety of Mexico is watching Perez. And boy, did he deliver.
Yeah. It's been so long, let alone like a Mexican driver driving well, like just all circumstantial, right? Like, Mexico has been long-standing a Red Bull track. Mexico has been a crowd favorite for some of these drivers, and to see Perez having that wonderful car, him starting to get into his element, that's also crucial, right? Since the past few races, he's been in his element, he's been up there. So all in all, there were huge expectations coming in from Perez, and boy, he delivered.
Oh yeah, and it's awesome to see that we have seen Perez being, a top-class driver for a while now on the track. Earlier, his stint at Force India, and then which was Racing Point. Every time, he's been one of those drivers who like jumps at those opportunities, and these days he gets a lot more of those. So, it's wonderful to see him perform well, especially in the last, like, I think 4 or 5 races that we've been seeing. I think he's finally like gotten the formula for his car in terms of setup and everything. That
Yes.
he's really getting comfortable there now.
This was a meta information that we were talking about yesterday, right? Oh, so folks, if you weren't aware, if it was a bit last minute thing for y'all, just a sidetrack here. We were streaming this race live yesterday on our Twitch channel. We wanted to do it on YouTube, but technical difficulties. Obviously, this was the first time we were live. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. Thank you for all your comments on Twitch when whoever tuned in. It was a great experience. There was obviously too much learning because this was the first time we did it. We know what needs to be done now, at least from our end. And yeah, we promise to keep bringing this more. We want more of y'all to come up and join us. It's okay if you don't want to talk, just like be there, listen to us sort of thing. But yeah, yesterday was a splendid experience streaming this live. It was fun. We'll do it more. Back onto Perez.
Yeah, I agree what you said, right? Like what we were discussing this today, right, in live, I guess, that basically till now, like Max has had the car for him, like in the sense that the car is pretty much developed for Max at this point in the team. Because other drivers have come and gone, but nobody's been able to like tame the beast, I would say, as such.
Yes.
And I think Perez has finally, he has finally gotten the setup that.
And you were mentioning this too, right? Like you were saying something about how even the Red Bull garage has been saying that for all the other drivers that they've got post Ricardo, it's been difficult for them to tune their car or something, right?
Yep. That's right. I think even from the engineers' perspectives, I think it's a lot depends on the drivers as such, because like Ricardo comparatively was a much more experienced driver as such, and I'm pretty sure he must be giving just the right feedback to them, who probably Albon or let's say even Gasly was not able to provide because they just didn't have that much experience as such. But I think Perez here is a veteran as such on the track, so I guess he is able to provide the right feedback to them, with which they can tune the car correctly.
Yeah, that, and I think he's also getting comfortable adjusting to how to do his tire management, because yesterday was again sort of like a next level tire management, and the memes have been showing that, right? Like, oh, you had to change tires because you had to. Well, I was forced to. And the other side where there's a Hamilton radio saying these tires are gone, and there's a Perez radio saying my tires are just starting to get better.
Yeah, definitely. I think Perez is known for his tire management. We have talked about this a lot of times before as well. And yesterday as well, though, one thing I kind of wanted to point out was obviously he stayed out. I think when Hamilton pitted, Max responded after I think a couple laps. But Perez stayed out. And yeah, another awesome start that happened that time was a Mexican leading a Mexican GP for a few laps, but still, that's some new
and
record.
Yet another meme there, stop the count. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind stopping that count. Anyways. So what I was saying was, one thing to notice here is that I think he stayed out for 10 laps, after Hamilton. So his tires were about 10 laps fresher.
Yeah.
And I think they basically were trying to set him up so that, he can have that performance delta advantage over Hamilton towards the end. And we saw the awesome fight that was going on, the game of cat and mouse pretty much. But that credit to Hamilton, like even with the tire deficit, he beautifully defended his position throughout.
Yeah, I mean, that Mercedes was obviously at under par this weekend, but it goes to show that even though probably luck, say a better car, say, or whatever has made you a 7-time champion, but nonetheless, the way he's being able to hold off onto that P2 goes to show that, there is something about you that's made you that 7-time world champion. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, holding off onto an unfortunate situation, being surrounded by Red Bull cars all along, still a splendid drive from Lewis out there. So a podium well deserved at P2.
Yep, definitely. Because everybody knows this and has talked about this, repeatedly, that this is, track that advantages Red Bull
Yeah.
with the thin air. And yeah, we saw what happened to Bottas. But yeah, Hamilton, yeah, there's a reason he's a 7-time world champion. And I think today we saw why, kind of.
Yeah. But coming back to Red Bull, I think nothing. Let's just surpass Max for a while here. There's nothing much to say there. He drove the best he could. He made the most opportune out of the whole situation. King of restarts and king of restarts was back. We saw that splendid, P1 race
run
lead.
down to the turn 1, right? Yeah, it was just brilliant. Yeah, right at the start itself, like he was right up there, and he was alongside Bottas quite before turn 1. I think like about when they were near 150-meter board or something like that. And Bottas, I don't know what happened to him. He just braked like very weirdly. But whatever, let's not get there right now.
Yeah. We'll come there.
But Max, right from turn 1, he took the lead and never left it. So
yeah, perfect, well executed Sunday from Max. But that race start was very interesting for a few other folks too, right? Especially Red Bull. Gasly, man, he was up at P4.
Yeah, that was surprising. After Bottas spun, there was a lot of chaos, and at that point I was not looking at the leaderboard, and then suddenly I just turned my eyes, and everything was very different. Like Gasly 4th, like what's going on here?
Yeah, and he held on to that position all the way to the end. So splendid drive from Gasly too. Which is also interesting because at some point when Hamilton pitted, he was behind Gasly. And and as someone pointed out on yesterday's live streams chat too, could this be a repeat of Monaco where Gasly holds off Hamilton? And that was just hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, Gasly was having a brilliant race yesterday for sure. Lonely though, I think he was. I didn't think he interacted with anybody throughout the race except for blue flags and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was driving his own race, held on to his position, and finished at where he started on. So.
Yeah. Although his second partner in crime not having such a fortunate day. It's unfortunate in the sense because he's finally getting comfortable with the car. We talked about this yesterday too, where it's like the first 15 races, or let's say just the first X races, he was equally surprised to be there around in 2022 F1. But since the last 2 or 3 races, we've seen a different Tsunoda, very comfortable with the car. I was hoping to see something. Yesterday as well, but just an unfortunate situation. He knows he was just collateral damage with whatever was happening.
Nothing much to say. It's could have been. I guess he would have ended up somewhere in P10, somewhere in there in the points. But I think that had definitely helped him to increase his confidence, I would say, especially given that how Gasly was performing. So the car did have the performance there. So if he would had survived lap 1, maybe he could have gotten a good result out of it.
Yeah. We've talked about this part where how Mexico is Red Bull favored track. And I mean, the Americas usually are Red Bull favored in general. But Saturday was a very different result versus what Sunday showed us, right? Mercedes were up there challenging all quali. But something was just off. Either Saturday was a misjudge on how Red Bull's performance would have been, or Sunday something else went wrong in Mercedes garage and the cars just weren't up there.
Yeah, it was very weird, right? Saturday, though I think it was more like Red Bull fucking up on Saturday because
with the
honestly,
duct tape rear wing.
yeah, exactly. They just just put on some duct tape on the rear wing because it was broken. It was so bizarre. And I think so there was some other shenanigans going on with, I heard that they attached Max's broken rear wing to Perez's car. And that's why, so, there was a point, in fact, where I think, not Crofty, Martin Rundle was talking about this, that they basically detached the rear wing and took it behind, and he was guessing that was because people start taking photographs and start examining it, and that's the reason why. But now we know what the reason really was.
Yeah. I think the news is also being suppressed, otherwise Mexican folks would have just charged into the garage rather than charging towards the podium.
And it was weird, I don't know, I think even Max kind of messed up. The reason his wing was broken because he broke it, right? He went onto those really harsh, rumblers. Yeah. And I think not a great qualification day for them, but he redeemed himself. They redeemed themselves entirely on the race day.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, Merck just showing a different side of their performance between Saturday and Sunday. Hamilton was ganged up by just a school of Red Bull drivers all around. Max in front, two behind him. Yeah, there's a meme that's coming into my mind right now, which I don't want to get into, but because age appropriateness. But it's a weird situation for Hamilton himself too.
It felt like a proper shakedown, right? It felt like they're cornering him for his lunch money.
Yeah, totally. It's interesting because Alonso, I think he said it or he tweeted, I can't remember, but he mentioned that Hamilton is cracking under pressure that's coming in from Max and Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's commented that the car has not been in the element, yada yada. We've seen him crib about tires yesterday too. Mm-hmm. So, what I didn't like though his P2 was probably well deserved the way he drove. What I didn't like was two things. He kept complaining about the tires and the fact that he said in his post race that I did everything that I could with the car that I had, but the car just wasn't there. I didn't like that fact. And the second, that goes to show how Red Bull has pace that Checo was able to keep up with me. Dude, come on. You're standing in front of his... Yeah.
I missed that probably. Interesting.
I mean, I saw it on Reddit or somewhere, so I didn't personally see him say it. But someone's posted this, that he said something along these lines, and I'm like, come on, dude, you're standing in front of his home crowd and saying the car's gotten him where, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's a little odd. I mean, not the best thing to say, I would say. Being in Mexico and dissing the Mexican driver is not probably the best idea. I think Lewis should check his tires. They probably are slashed by now. But yeah, regardless, I guess. I mean, he drove brilliantly. I really don't think he could have done anything better in the terms of winning the race for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that was possible at any point after. It was pretty evident because Max just went ahead right after I think after the restart, right? Right after then he built a good 5-second gap, and after then it was just him dominating throughout.
But even if Hamilton would have gone ahead, I think Toto mentioned this, that it wouldn't have mattered much too, because Red Bull was in a different element yesterday, and they would have just gotten around Hamilton at some point. So sure. I think Toto knew what was happening on track. They were just probably strategizing and fighting for as much high as they can finish yesterday.
Yeah. You know what? I think what's happening now is Bottas probably Mercedes and Bottas are having a fight now. because because see what happened is the Mercedes said that we are gonna mess up all your races, give you new engines every time, and Bottas was like, okay, fine, I'll qualify first, and then you know what, I'll just spin at the turn one and start the race from the back again.
I now only know how to drive post P15, so that's what I'll be. See ya.
Yep. And right after that, Mercedes is like, okay, is that what you're gonna do? Give him a 12-second pit stop.
Oh man, what was that? Again, like smoke's coming out. There was a stint of fire as well. Yeah. It's like, come on, you. And this would have been on him saying like he doesn't know where to stop because we weren't able to get like the nut out, or Mercedes garage having nutting problems on a no nut November. Sure, something's
it's pretty odd what's going on. I think I don't know. Something seems wrong for sure. Like the way everything's going on in the garage. Like today, like think about it. Just I think 2 episodes ago, we were talking about can Red Bull really catch up with Mercedes? And here we are, right? They caught up. They're just 1 point behind now. And today was the day when Bottas was supposed to be there ahead. But definitely there's some discord going on, among the team and Bottas. So yeah, we saw what happened. It was very weird the way he braked like so early on. He had the lead. Like what happened? I just don't understand.
Probably it was just like the moment and like not being able to handle it sort of thing. He probably assumed the tires were warm enough, the brakes were warm enough, and he should have braked at the point where, if this is like lap 10 and you're coming down that main straight and you got to turn, so that's my braking point. So he probably went into that mindset and then braked at that point, but obviously you're at race start, lap 1, that's not the place to brake. You probably brake a few meters ahead into that turn. I mean, it did create a chaos that that usually Bottas is known for, right? Like either he brakes too late.
Agent of chaos.
Either he brakes too late, right? I think it was Spa or somewhere, right? Like he braked too late and then took Max out with him, or Perez out
somewhere.
with him.
I don't recall where.
But earlier Spa, this year.
Spa was the non-race, right? So not Spa, but something else.
Spa was right. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like he took Red Bull out with him, and again, so this time he's done something similar where he was taken out, unfortunately, then by Ricciardo, because that's the interesting combination though, because Ricciardo is known for late braking. Bottas is early braking. So you've got a very mixed and matched combination right there.
Yeah, exactly. And it was weird. So if you see the footage again, right? Ricciardo was okay. So it was like Bottas right ahead, right before Bottas started braking. Bottas was ahead. Right behind him were Max and Lewis on either side of him. Yeah. Both were almost equally ahead. And right behind them was Gasly, and beside Gasly was Ricciardo. Right. So Ricciardo was way behind. Okay, and Bottas suddenly braked. Max and Lewis both go ahead. Gasly also somehow just misses Bottas. Perez also like goes off and misses Bottas. And Bottas just turns in entirely. And poor Ricciardo, he is late braking. He's just braking into the corner.
He's like, I'm not used to this brake.
And Bottas just starts turning in. And at that point, it was, I think, a racing incident. Nothing, either of them.
No. It wasn't a racing incident. It was a Bottas incident.
Bottas incident.
But poor Sonoda and poor Mick, man. Mick, anyways, he's going to be either P19 or at best P18.
Yeah.
He had to sit in the garage.
Yep. He got a day off.
He got it.
Not too bad.
I think Bottas shouldn't have gotten that Fangio helmet. Although it was just splendid. An amazing gesture. Jackie Stewart himself presenting a Fangio helmet. I mean, just too good, just too good, no doubt. But I mean, the guy got distracted after that. I think since the moment he got that helmet, he's just been dreaming about it. He was seeing himself probably driving in one, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I think I know what happened. He probably wanted to wear it, and then like my Uncle Masi was like, "No, sorry, I can't allow that." And then he was just, throwing a temper tantrum or something.
I'll swipe half the field out. Oh well, just took Tsunoda and make out.
It makes sense now why he spun, right? Like right at turn 1, like he just wanted to do a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And doing a strikeout.
Sitting in that cloud of smoke so that no one can see him and people keep running into him, and the cars go out. But on a strategy note, Mercedes pitting him at at lap 70 just to snatch that 1 point away from Max. Cheeky, but I mean, every point matters at this stage where like just 4 races to go, and this is going to come down to the last race. So,
no,
you got to do it.
I mean, I think fair enough. Like, he was already out of points anyways. Like, what difference does it make if he ends up 12th or 19th, So, I guess it made sense stealing that 1 point. As you said, each point matters. This is going to happen. This is going to go till the last or at least the second last race for sure. And
What could have been a 20-point lead is now a 19-point lead. So I think Lewis will take that for sure. Bottas doesn't care. But talking about points, man, the point table's been shuffling quite a lot, and it's so beautiful this season to see that Mercedes keeping ahead of Red Bull just by that 1 point. Bottas versus Perez bringing this up a notch to hopefully get Red Bull that constructor championship, that driver championship. So it's going to be fun. But beyond all this top table point shuffling, what I wanna talk to you about, Sarang, right now is McLaren. What's happening with McLaren, man? They were up there, P3. Lando was fighting for P3 with Bottas. They're slipping behind, man. They're slipping behind.
It seems like after Italy, they just decided, okay, we got a 1-2. I think that's done, and
that's the highlight. Let's pack.
I achieved what I came for. Let's go back home. It's weird, right? Like, because you're right. Like, start of the season, McLaren was doing great, especially Lando. Okay, like honestly, when we say McLaren was doing great, at least for half of the season, Lando was the only person scoring points.
True.
So Lando was doing great, and then suddenly, right after Silverstone, something has happened. Like, again, ignore the Italy race, that was an outlier. But after that, I think he's been pretty behind, like P8, P10, further behind P15 and stuff. Something's going on. They are definitely losing ground. Like, considering that even Ricciardo is now doing good, they are still slipping behind Ferrari. And something seems off.
Although not a bad weekend to Lando coming up from P18 to getting that 1 point in the table. It's not been a good second half of the season for McLaren. Ferrari's up on them by, I think I want to say like 13 points or something. So they're slipping down the points table as well. I think they're at P4 at this point. Ferrari's up at P3 in constructors. So Ferrari's having a good season nonetheless. So the preseason testing has just been tossed out of the window with now Ferrari at P3. But something's either they've just moved on to 2022 and now they don't care because they've gotten their highlight, as you correctly mentioned, P12. But Ricciardo, let's spend a few minutes.
He had an awesome start today, right? I loved it.
Yeah.
But sadly, he didn't amount to anything.
He got Bottas.
He got Bottas.
All throughout the race as well, there was this good battle going on between Bottas and Ricciardo as well. Bottas trying to chase down Ricciardo, coming in close at some moments to get that overtake done. But Ricciardo is also a seasoned driver, knows how to keep someone behind him. Although, you know what, that reminds me, yesterday was quite a dry of a race, to be honest. But the whole anticipation that something's going to happen, someone's going to charge in, and people coming in close to that fighting distance and striking distance, that made the race interesting. And I can't remember how a dry race can be this exciting, and I can't remember the last time I've seen a race like this.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, to think about it, the result was very similar to people's expectation. It was exactly, if people were betting, like, probably the odds would be very low on these results. But yeah, basically it felt like a dry race, but still was pretty interesting. Because, as you said, right, it was a story of what could have been. Kind of everybody was right up close to each other. Like, there were like these clusters formed, right, where we had Max was on his own bubble, but Hamilton and Perez were in one. Like Ricciardo and Bottas were there in one for a long while. I guess even these three, right, all the three veterans, Vettel, Alonso, and Kimi were driving together. They were again having some jolly good time.
Yeah, they are on a vacation, almost into their retirement age now. Let's stick together, have fun together. You stay ahead this race, I'll go to the next one, then we'll send Kimi ahead. Sure, let's just have fun.
Yeah, and same with the Ferraris as well. They were kind of together. So, there were moments but there were fights, there were chases, but we never saw a lot of overtakes as such, because there was some really good defending going on overall.
Yes. And I think the only probably some overtakes that I can remember are probably like switching orders from teams with Ferrari, and what else, and the blue flags.
Yeah. Well, talking about Ferrari, something, right? I think the scale of power is kind of switching, right, in the team. Like, it seems like Sainz is kind of filling in the shoes of the driver number one these days, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I could stand behind that. Yes, and I like how he's taking some calls for himself. Not all pro garage commentary, and making those decisions where going against the garage as well and rightfully so, because he's also standing up for himself, but at the same time proving his decisions correctly too. So Sainz, I'm pretty sure Vettel's sitting there in that Aston and thinking, oh, that's an option, I could have done that.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen that, right? Even Vettel kind of used to do it a lot of times. They would just say no or something like that, like, no, I'm not going to do what you're saying. But I think Sainz, though, is kind of taking it a step ahead, in the sense that I think he's gelling up with the team very well as well. I think there definitely was some friction between Vettel and the team, and we could evidently see that. But I guess Sainz is somehow just gelling up with Charles. They're not having any issues as well. Like, to think about it, Sainz is the new guy, but still kind of is humbling Charles a little, I would say. But seems like there's no friction there. Same thing. The team also is kind of supporting both. They're not kind of taking a side. At least doesn't seem like at the moment. So I guess Ferrari are on the path of recovering themselves in 2022 and ahead, I guess.
True. Yeah, definitely. Sainz got in very comfortable with the team. Looking forward to sort of seeing him probably drive up the ladder as well. So point size too, him and Charles are separated by sort of like 7.5 points, with Charles in the lead at P6 in the driver standing. The way things have been going with Lando, Charles, and Sainz, that P5 where Lando's sitting at 150, Charles is sitting at 138, and then Carlos is sitting at 130.5. That P5, 6, 7 is going to be also like an interesting spot to look out for in the driver's standing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun.
Yep.
Gag-wise, talking of points, Sarang, Mazepin, where is he? Out of the 20 drivers, out of the
21 out of 20, isn't it?
Oh my God.
The memes just make themselves, I mean, we don't have to think about it anymore these days. Well, Robert Kubica has overtaken Mazepin with 4 races left. I really wonder if he is going to end up ahead of
Robert Kubica. Sure. I think he probably thinks 21 over 20 is a better number to have.
He just thinks that it overflows and goes back to the top. So, if you're out of 20, you become first.
My God, that's really an interesting stat to have, right, for your first race career.
Since we're bashing people, let's bash Stroll a little. What's going on with him, man?
He's laying low in the covers at this point. I feel like he's not driving well. He's not driving way too bad. I mean, he could have done better, but I think like that Aston /Merc 2 / Racing Point / whatever that puzzled car at this point is. He's just laying
he's
low.
having a slump, right? I guess last season he did decent. Like he had some really good results. He got a second position as well, I think, right? Italy, Monza, right? I guess, yeah.
And, last season the car was an exact replica of Mercedes. This year, I think Toto's not sharing secrets as much as they hoped for.
It's like the highest position he has had this season so far is P7, which is not too good. Like, I don't know what's going on. I guess he's just probably biding his time. Probably this car is not that good enough. And he pretty much has the seat for him, right? Like he owns the team, for God's sake.
Although tell me this, I've said this, you've said this, that probably the car is not there yet. But the surprising part is Vettel's been able to push that car, right? Like this season itself, he's got into P2 twice.
Yeah.
Right. So Vettel's pushing the car. He's staying in points, P7 yesterday as well. Something's definitely going on with Stroll.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at the driver standings, right? Vettel is at 12 with 42 points. And where is Stroll?
Scroll down.
He's just behind him. Yeah. But almost half the points that he has. So, 6 points ahead of Tsunoda. That's it.
Tsunoda's on track to overtake Stroll. That'd be something to look out for as well. Like that P13 driver championship table, 6 points differentiating them. Yuki, besides unfortunate situations, if the next 4 races hold out at least for him and his car, I think he's gotten into an element where he can surpass Stroll.
He just might.
P13. Yesterday. Speaking of, good driving, Gio finally caught our attention, right? Gio caught our attention. He was driving something yesterday.
I think after the restart, he was something P6, P7, something
P6
like that, right? Just ahead of Ricardo, and not Ricardo, just ahead of Vettel.
Ferraris,
Just ahead of Vettel, and I think he was trying an undercut as well, which unfortunately backfired terribly, and he was just stuck behind after that. But brilliant performance. I mean, unfortunately, he didn't end up in points. P11, I want to say.
Just after,
so just missed out, but pretty good performance. He does have potential, right? But he just misses out. That's what I think of him always. He just misses out.
It's going to
most
be
of
a
the
bit
times.
unfortunate to see him go because that second
Yeah.
seat's not been, disclosed yet on who's taking it. And the every day that gets delayed, I get nervous for this guy because
Yeah.
he's been under the cover like Stroll has been recently. But he doesn't own their team, and obviously he's got to have financial backing.
Yeah.
His sponsors.
I've heard that they are asking for Italian government for some sponsorship, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's not looking good for Gio. It's going to be an unfortunate thing to see him probably go. So
yeah. Seems like it. I think the team does have some financial troubles. I think they are gonna go for some pay driver to get some money for development, which kind of does make sense for the team. But yeah, sad to see him go, I guess.
All in all, I think it was good to see what was happening on track. The other drivers were undercovers. Latifi, I don't know where he was on the track. Russell did pop up here and there, but again, he was just having a Sunday by himself. Kimi.
Yeah, I don't know what Ocon was doing either. I don't know what he was doing.
He started off with soft. He was the only person who started off on softs. And then I think he immediately went on to hard. So it was an interesting race from Ocon. P13 again. I think some of these drivers have gotten into the mindset that they let's start looking into 2022 and be done with this year. Just get some lap times in and practice driving with these cars.
Probably.
Overall, a fun Sunday. A dry yet exciting. It's somewhat of an oxymoronic statement, but yeah, I don't know how to explain that feeling. Our first live stream, just too much fun. Some drinking challenges that were given out by fans. It was fun. Hop on to the next one, folks. We'll also make it a point to sort of send out those links early on in advance so that you can plan out your race timings accordingly
and set things up correctly so that it doesn't stop in between and we have to restart so that people have to restart again.
True that too. But yeah, everyone's learning here. So as we said, leave us a review, leave us 1 point, 5 points, whatever you think it was. We would love 5 points, by the way. And let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see on these episodes. Follow us on our socials. Until the next episode, this is F1 Fan Fiction signing off.
Bye-bye.